Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day for Monday, December 7th, 2015, around 5:17 in the afternoon in Belleville, Massachusetts. It was another perfect late fall day today. Highs in the mid-50s. Actually felt like a little bit of spring out today, and get out and enjoy it because tomorrow's going to be a little cloudy and damp, about 41 degrees. Might feel like it's going to snow, but no snow's in the forecast for several more days. But sooner or later, we'll pay for it. Some news to report. The Baseball Hall of Fame Veterans Committee did not vote for anybody to get into the Hall of Fame. This was the pre-integrated committee players before the color barrier was born in 1947. It's very hard to get into the Hall of Fame, so no players were elected. So it's going to be up to sports writers to vote players in the Hall of Fame in 2016, and it's probably going to be guaranteed Ken Griffey Jr. only. That's what I'm predicting. And also, the Red Sox traded pitcher Wade Miley to the Seattle Mariners, and the LA Dodgers are working on a deal to acquire Aroldis Chapman from the Reds, but the Reds deny a trade is imminent. And that's about it on the news. My second video blog subject of the day is about the old A branch of the MBTA Green Line that branched out to Watertown. Actually, it branched out to Watertown Yard in Watertown, Massachusetts. It was a facility where they at one time fixed Green Line trains, and this branch of the Green Line was open for many years until up to 1969. It actually started out in the late 1850s as a horse car train that would go from Watertown to Cambridge, Massachusetts, and other places. But by like 1889, the cars were electrified. 1897, the first subway in America opened in Tremont Street, and eventually they built the branches in ground train lines in Boston. And in like the 1920s and 30s, they had the streetcars, which they branched up to Watertown and stuff. And they started at the Watertown Yards, and they went up Garlett Street, made many local stops. And the first major stop after Watertown Yard was Newton Corner, which was in Newton, Massachusetts, right near where the Mass Pike used to be. And then they would go into Brighton and make onto Washington Street, make several local stops. The next big major station was Oak Square, and they would continue to make local stops. And the next big major stop was Union Square in Brighton. They would follow Washington Street in Brighton and stuff, and they would continue on making more local stops, and then they would come to Packett's Corner when they would go on merge with the B branch, which would go to Boston College, and it would follow like some local stops in Boston University and go under the tunnel to Kenmore Square, and it would fall all the way to Park Street. And this was a very busy line, but by the 1960s, the A branch of the Green Line was having difficulties because the streetcars were getting old and stuff, and plus basically the wear and tear, and they weren't having any replacements for it. And in the mid-60s, they would talk about eliminating, cutting back the Watertown branch to go to Newton Corner only, but a lot of people in Watertown area were mad because they would lose streetcar service of the Green Line. Another thing that was affecting the the like Watertown branch was there was a lot of bus service down there, and buses were much more easier than the light rail service and stuff. Plus, it would fight with the traffic on street because the the tracks were right on the street and stuff, and that had a lot of interference. And by like the late 1960s, the A branch was set to close down. It did in 1969, in June of 1969, and there was a bus replacement, bus 57, that went from Watertown Yard to Kenmore Square, and it basically followed the route of the A branch, making stops at Newton Corner, Oak Square, Union Square, and Packard Corner. The Watertown Yard was still open for many more years to fix Green Line cars and stuff. And when in the 1970s and 80s, there were petitions to reactivate the A branch, but it did not come to be because they did a lot of studies that it wouldn't be feasible and stuff. And in 1993, the Watertown Yard closed down to fix Green Line cars. The next year, they took it off the tracks, and in like 1996, they took the street headlights for it, basically abandoning this project forever, abandoning the A branch forever, and there's no signs of it anymore. And it was kind of disappointing because a lot of people in Watertown for years used this branch to get to Boston, especially Kenmore Square, to see the Red Sox game. Now it's buses and stuff, and it was a good line, I heard. I never took it because I wasn't even born back then. But that's one of the histories of Boston, and that's about it on the A branch of the Green Line, which is no longer in existence. We'll be back with the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about the late great baseball Hall of Famer Lou Gehrig. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Brennan guy. Molly Rosenblatt of Fox 35. Roxanne has nice legs. Elizabeth Hutt's the best. Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 in Raleigh, North Carolina, has a great southern accent, and she's got nice legs as well. And in the words of Dee Patel, as we know,